Andersen.
Heli-Coils.
65 years ago Bolhoff invented the Heli-Coil, a metallic thread insert that reinforces assemblies, especially with low-strength materials such as aluminum, magnesium alloys and fiber-reinforced plastics. Heli-Coil thread inserts are tried and tested and have become a widely used structural component, creating high-strength, heat and wear-resistant threads. With a Heli-Coil, forces are transferred from flank to flank into the pilot thread. They are awesome.
Invented by Bolhoff 65 years ago to reinforce aluminum assemblies on aircraft. I did not know this, I've never used one, but today we're going to be using these to try to fix our CLK55 AMG that has a limp sway bar end link. So, fingers crossed, let's get into it. Alright, so it's our passenger side that's actually hurt, but I'll show you guys the driver's side just because it's easier to see. But essentially, here's our sway bar link, our sway bar, blue right there, H&R. The bottom side of our sway bar link, the hex portion, the rod in the middle there, gold, is stripped on the bottom. The threads are basically gone. And what I'm going to try to do is use a Heli-Coil to get our bottom joint back threaded into it. So I was kind of back and forth on what I was going to try to do in this situation, but I figured this is a cost-effective solution. Heli-Coil kits are usually like 10 to 15 bucks. You can find them. I have a 60-piece tap and die set that I use to kind of rethread the little ball joint at the end of it. And yeah, figured why not go with this as a cheap method. And those things will come in handy anyways for future projects if it doesn't work. And I'll just go ahead and buy some other sway bar end links, which I was going to do straight off the bat from Speedway because they have some really nice zinc coated steel type things that are a lot heavier duty that would have never failed, but most of them are in SAE standard sizes and nothing lines up exactly with the 12mm bore that I needed for the sway bar and the 10 by 1.5mm I needed for the link. So yeah, it just didn't line up size wise, but otherwise I would have just gone with those. In this case, let's just give it a try, see what we can figure out, and see if it fixes it. All right, and what do you get in a cheap Heli-Coil kit? This was literally 15 bucks off Amazon. You get the little screw to use on these. There are different types of Heli-Coils. There's ones that have these little tangs on them like this, and basically you grip onto that with your tool here. So grips onto that, you screw this in after you tap it with the included tap that is a little bit oversized to fit the M10 by 1.5. Anyways, twist this down in there, and then after you use your little tang breaker tool to break off that little stem portion at the end so that your bolt can go all the way through versus, you know, getting stuck on that. So anyways, that's the plan. Essentially just got to drill out our sway bar end link rod portion with this, tap it with this, and then thread in our Heli-Coil. So simple enough, let's get to it. Now the other portion of this is our joint over here, which is not so pretty, and I rethreaded it because the threads were shot on it, and I don't know if you guys can see that, but the bottom portion here is not looking good. Our threads are a bit sideways, but they still are catching a good grip on the jam nut right here, so it should still work. It's just not pretty, but hey, not going for pretty, we're going for fixed. All right, guys, we went ahead and took this out. Just a quick 19mm bolt, or I mean nut, and the little set nut on there is 14mm. So this is a good side. That was the top one, and bottom side looks like this. Now I don't know what these are. I thought they were white line because the color combo is what white line uses as well, and they don't feel cheap necessarily. Like the aluminum is good quality, it seems like. The end links are, you know, good, or the joints, I mean, they feel super good quality, and you know, they don't feel cheap at all. But part numbers on this, if you can see right there, it's 6.5. See if you can get a view at that. Anyways, 65014 D13L12. So I don't know what that is. This could just be a no-name brand, but anyways, the threads don't look that shot when you're looking at them visually, but they've knocked off, you know, most of the grooves, so there's just not a lot of bite on there anymore. So our Heli-Coil looks like it's going to work out perfectly. We've got the correct oversize. Yes, I'm wearing socks and sandals in the garage, guys, don't judge me. But anyways, our Heli-Coil is a nice oversize of this, so we should be good. Once we drill this out, it should make a good bite in there, and I think this will work. Fingers crossed. All right, guys, step number one, we got our drill that just barely fit into my Bosch drill here, and a little bit of PP blaster. I know one of you guys commented that I should try actual cutting fluid. I don't have that, guys, so we're going old school method. But anyways, let me get this set up for you guys so you can have a view while I'm getting this thing cleaned out. Oh, yeah, this is gonna be interesting with a dying battery. Come on. Okay, I think we made it far enough. Let's do a little bit more. Okay, should be good. Plenty deep. Let me get the vacuum. Be right back. Okay, next up is a tap. Okay, time for the tap. And key with these are, guys, is just try to keep it obviously as straight as possible. Might have a little bit of walking at the beginning, but should be okay. Luckily, what this doesn't need to be like extremely precise, but you know, straighter the better. So try to do it as best we can. Plenty. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and hit the vacuum while we're all right, guys, and just like that, we've got some really nice threads. I don't know if you guys can see that actually. It's hard to tell what's actually being seen on the GoPro when you're looking at the little screen, but anyways, they're very nice. You can take my word for it. Now we got to put in the Heli-Coil. Okay, guys, Heli-Coil here. Loaded up, ready to go. I did throw a tiny dab of blue Loctite onto this, so go ahead and send this thing home. It's my first Heli-Coil, guys. You guys are watching it live on screen. I don't really know if these bottom out necessarily, or you just kind of leave them where you want them to be. I think that's how it works. They just go where you want them to go. So anyways, that's it. And then last step is basically breaking off the tang with a hammer. So basically just set this in there, and hopefully that worked. yeah, I think we're good. I don't know if it broke off all the way, but it's hard to see down in there. I think we're good. Okay. Let's go take this thing out. Okay, let's test out if our ball joint will thread into now. Let's test out if our ball joint will thread in here. All right, you guys, well, there's the repaired link. Threads didn't go in pretty, but I mean, they work. They're a little bit curved, but once I cinched down the jam nut, I think it's plenty tight and definitely at least strong threads in there. So I think we'll be good. I adjusted the top one a tiny bit just to get them back to, you know, kind of off angle where they need to be. It's kind of just a 90-degree change from the other. So this will go top side, this will stay on the bottom side, and yeah, let's throw it back in and see if it holds. All right, you guys, tightened up and back in business. So let's drop this thing on the ground. I don't think I had any other work I was doing underneath on it. So let's go ahead and yeah, get it on the ground, see how things settle. All right, guys, car is back on the ground, and our Heli-Coil seems to be doing okay. So I think that's about it. Not really a way I can prove that that's working without time. So once I get a chance to drive the car a bunch and, you know, hope it holds, and maybe I'll update you guys down in the comments below. But fingers crossed, I think we're okay. It seemed like it made a really good bite, and I think the threads were just worn out. That's why it failed. Looking at it, it seems like the sway bar is set to the correct level and all the other things. So if anything, if one of the other ones, you know, has a thread failure, then we'll just do the same thing again and make it secure. So that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. It was super fun. Looking at it, it seems like the sway bar is set to the correct level. Definitely go get yourself a one of the other ones, you know, has a set and try it out. It's actually super fun, super satisfying doing. That's it. So I'll catch you. That's it. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching. Peace. It's actually super fun. It's actually super fun.